Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be going over the potential market changes because of everything going on with Antwerp. We're going to be talking about if there's really a potential crash on the horizon and everything to do with that. Before we hop on into this one though, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. The sponsor for today's video is SkinsMonkey. Now if you don't know what SkinsMonkey is, it's one of the most fast and efficient ways to trade out your CSGO skins if you're just not feeling it right now. You can go ahead, hop on over there, claim an extra free $5 on your first trade if you've never used it before. Plus, if you want to deposit some real money, you can get an extra 25% on top of that to spend on the site. It took me less than 3 minutes to complete the entirety of the trade, and if you guys are looking to do so yourself, it'll be the first link down in the description, and enjoy the video. Now, when we're talking about the Antwerp Major here, we're really going to be starting off with one main thing, and that's the teams that qualified, because I've got a couple main points I want to hit on here. First up, the Legends capsule is absolutely packed to the brim with some really good stickers. Copenhagen Flames, not a team I'm personally a fan of, but they've got some pretty nice looking stickers. I can't lie there. I mean, they've got one of the best looking stickers from Stockholm. And honestly, if Antwerp is anything like that, we could probably see another decent looking sticker. Then we've got Navi, Cloud9, and FaZe. Now Cloud9 is obviously that Gambit roster. Cloud9 has had some pretty nice stickers in the past, especially their Boston 2018 one, that hollow. I really enjoy it. It's a little bit too expensive for me, but I see a lot of potential there. And then really looking at the only bad team in my opinion is maybe NIP or Big. Those are the two downfall-ish teams on the Legends capsule, but those aren't even bad. I mean, NIP, they've still got, you know, a fan base. It's not as big as the other ones, but I think there's definitely a lot of potential looking at that Legends capsule, and that's where the main issue is. If we see really good stickers, we're going to see tons of people starting to sell off their Stockholm capsules. And when we're talking about a crash, I think that's the most likely outcome, is seeing a crash in terms of Stockholm. A lot of people, if they wanted to sell off their investments to invest into Antwerp, have already sold off, and we saw that peak there about a couple weeks ago. When we're looking at people that are looking to invest into Antwerp here that are still holding on to items, it's most likely going to be Stockholm capsules, because those are kind of the risky-ish thing to hold on to, because there's a lot of potential for them to almost double in price if these Antwerp stickers look really bad, and you can go ahead and snag a Legends capsule from Stockholm for only $1. It might be a better opportunity to grab one of those, or that's going to be the common thought, at least in my mind. So I think there's definitely a lot of risk holding onto those Stockholm capsules, and that's why it's really going to be interesting to see how these stickers from Antwerp turn out. And basically the overall gist of it here is that there's a lot of risk with the Stockholm capsules because they're going to be very volatile. They could crash in price, technically crash in air quotes there, because I don't think it's going to necessarily be a crash in price. They'll probably decrease 20-30%, and then they'll rebound relatively quickly if the Antwerp stickers look good. If the Antwerp stickers look bad, they'll probably see that same 20-30% jump up. Now, when we're talking about the overall stickers from Antwerp, obviously it's going to be very dependent on that background, and we've mentioned that a couple times, and I'm not going to harp on it too much here, but I do think there is a lot of potential with these other two capsules, the Challengers and Contenders, which usually, in my opinion, is not too common. At least with Stockholm, I didn't see a ton of potential with those ones here. But here in the Challengers, we've got a lot of great teams. I mean, the really bad-ish teams might be viewed as Bad News Eagles, and that's because their logo is quite ugly. However, even they have a pretty decent following at this point because they're the underdog story of this major. I see a lot of potential with the Challengers here. Moving on to the Contenders, there's a couple teams that really kind of get me a bit nervous. One is IHC. I don't know how many people are really going to be looking for their sticker, especially if it has a background. If we get a sticker that has a background, like the Antwerp is the background for this one, I think IHC is definitely going to struggle very significantly as a sticker. Same with 9Z. Both of those aren't going to turn out very well if there's a background. but even then, the Contenders still has a couple good ones. Eternal Fire has a very high ceiling of how great that sticker could be. That sticker could be extremely well done, even with a background at this point, provided the background looks okay. Then we've got Complexity, which has been there for a while. Same with Renegades and Team Spirit. Those ones, I think there's definitely the potential there, but they're probably not going to be that great. Liquid is a common name, but overall, this Contenders capsule is probably going to be the least beneficial out of the three to invest in. But I know personally, I'm still going to buy into these capsules. All three of them, I'm going to be buying some no matter what, when the sale comes. That's the big thing, is when the sale comes. I'm not going to be buying really any unless it's going to be to open up right away once these stickers actually release. Moving back to talking about the market though, I think there definitely is the potential for some decrease in prices across the board, but it's probably not going to be when you expect it. When we head to Stockholm and we're looking at the glove case here, we can see that the actual bottom price that it saw was about 5 days after the major ended. Now, one thing I really want to make clear here is this is not guaranteed. This is just one example. We're talking about Stockholm. We're not going to be talking about every single major before that and the dates to everything to do with that. This is one example, and I highly recommend that you take this with just a kind of grain of salt almost, because this is one example and it's not over involving everything here. It's just Stockholm. And that's where it's kind of getting a little bit iffy. We didn't know if there was going to be a sale with Stockholm, so that might have been people selling off those items in thoughts that there might be a sale or maybe to invest a little bit earlier. I think we're probably going to see the bottom of our market a couple days after the actual major ends, maybe 1 to 2 days after, because we can actually see that we're probably going to get those autograph capsules once again. From one of my past videos, I talked about why this format is almost guaranteed to return, and I'm still betting on that. I believe that format's going to return, so it's probably going to be 1 to 2 days after is going to be the lowest price point we're going to get. Now, that's not for certain, that's just my estimation, but it's definitely an okay time to buy in if you don't expect there to be a big operation on the horizon, which I'm iffy on. I think there definitely is the potential there, but that's quite risky to bet that the prices are going to stay low for that long. I think this might be the best time a lot of people get to invest back in if they kind of missed out on investing before that growth spurt we saw a couple weeks ago. To kind of put everything as a whole here, I don't think we're really going to see a market crash necessarily. We might see some specific items crash, those being Stockholms, which we mentioned a little bit, that Stockholm is basically in this position where it might go up, it might go down, it just depends on the sticker, and it's honestly not something I'm probably going to bet on, buy more into, but I'm also not going to sell off. I'm just going to hold on to my capsules. I definitely recommend you guys do the same, but as always, make sure you're doing your own advice and your own research and not just taking my opinion. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.